All right, so I've been living remotely now for 10 days, a bit more, and it's starting to kick in how it really is, you know, when you have a fixed place, like you rent an apartment, you always have a way to like wash your clothes, hang the clothes, and make everything dry. When you're going through hotels every day, I try to book hotels like 2 nights in a row or 3 nights in a row. Ideally, 3 nights in a row, so you don't have to like pack up everything and go all the time. But because I travel very light right now, just a backpack and a roller suitcase, which is a very small one, I actually don't have much stuff. So it kind of means that, if my clothes get really dumped in the rain and I cannot dry them, then I just toss them out because they're going to get smelly and I can't get rid of the smell. And so I'll just need a new one. It really determines what type of clothing you can wear, to be honest. You can't have like every option that you want. There's no solutions, only trade-offs. So when you're traveling the way that I'm doing, and I'm very new to this, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I figured out that so far, one of the things that I figured out was that packing very light clothing is essential. So I'm wearing this from Uniqlo, which are the Airism, something like that. Yeah, the Airism collection, because they're half synthetic, half cotton thing, or maybe more synthetic. Hashtag microplastics. Let's go microplastics. When it comes to clothing, I don't think microplastic is such a big deal for the body. Maybe for the environment, because it says that when you wash them, the water absorbs the microplastic from the fibers from the clothing, and then it gets spelled out to the nature, and that's not cool. But for the body, I don't think we are absorbing an enormous amount of it. Even if you're working out on them, I don't think it's very, I think it's negligible. Hopefully, I don't know. We're all gonna be dead in like 100 years anyway. Much less than that, probably. Of course, I am much less than that. Halfway through my life, I guess. I'm halfway through my life. Wow. Okay. Statistically, probably halfway through my life. And so anyway, so when it's raining like this, it's been raining now in Shanghai for a few days now, then it's kind of difficult to get dry, to get the clothing to smell good, because you wash it, you dry it, but then maybe the dryer doesn't do a great job. And then you hang it, but maybe the hotel doesn't have fresh air ventilation that can get well done. A lot of the washing machines that you find in hotels here they supply their own detergent, and I have found that I don't think they supply a generous amount of detergent. Those machines that have the auto detergent mixing into them, I don't trust them as much. I put my own, toss it into the tumbler, a little bit of one of those like dishes, patillas, how do you say it? Patilla pills, like the pills that you would use for the laundry, because that will do a little bit of a better job towards it. And yeah, so now I just got out of my hotel from last night. It was probably a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Not, I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't stay there again. But I stayed there because I wanted like one bed for me, just like for one night at least, instead of like sharing the room with the hostel. But I gotta say, I slept better in the hostels. So if you're in a hostel and the other people in their room, they're not watching their phone, they're not doing anything weird at night, then the beds are actually pretty good. The bunk beds or the sleeping pods is actually pretty solid for getting a good night's sleep, I think. Of course, you'll be better off if you spend 500, drop 500 at a Marriott or like Ritz-Carlton or something like that. I don't know if 100 gets you a Marriott. Probably more like 800. Probably in Shanghai it's like 1.2. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not doing Marriotts or Ritz-Carltons at the moment. because I gotta keep my monthly budget of rental towards 6,000 RMB. So I gotta calculate that every day. I try to spend 100 to 150 in the hostels, and then every now and then I would like splash for a night or two on a hotel that is 200, 250, something like that. That's that's the plan so far. Okay, along, and then again, it's been 10 days. Go to a service apartment. Service apartment. Yeah, I go to a service apartment, but they're like far away from the city, or and not all of them are easy to book, easy to get. So service apartments are a good solution to traveling and stuff. But also, I really like hostels because of the social aspect of it. I met really cool people at the hostel. You don't get that in service apartments. So I think hostels are honestly, so far, is the best alternative I have. The shared bathroom is probably not the least ideal thing about it, but and the laundry situation, as I was saying. But the sleeping part and the social part actually make up for that. I would rather take the social aspect of a hotel, of a hostel, and the sleeping situation of a hostel. That to me comes up to like a higher priority than what it is something like the price of a hotel. Where in a hotel, you're most of the time you're isolated. You're not going to meet a lot of people. Even if there is awesome common areas in a hotel, people are not hanging out in there. In a hostel, people are like, they work in there, they're doing internships in the city, they come and go. I met very interesting people in there. So, and of all ages, some of the people are just tourists and they're traveling, of course. But I saw a lot of people who are just like doing internships and they come here and they spend a month in the city, and they go to work and stuff like that in the morning. I wouldn't like to spend an entire month in the same hostel. I don't know if they do that, but yeah, it's been good. So anyway, that's my update so far of living remotely so far. I need to get my game app together, try to get more clients. So try to get at least one more client for doing social media marketing for them, and videos on consulting, so that I can, or just doing my own editing, clipping, and stuff like that. Got to figure it out. I have a few tools that I'm building on Cloud Code. That is my road so far. But actually monetizing that, it's a lot of consistent work and actually packaging something that you built. Because the tools that I built so far, they work for me, but will they work for somebody else? Depends on how I package them. Will other people use them? It needs to be for people who are not AI native, because AI native people, they will immediately see most of the apps as this is a wrapper. I can do this myself with ChatGPT, and I can even build this on Cloud Code for in a few days. That it works internally. Because if you're building something internally on Cloud Code that just runs on your computer, probably doesn't take you much at all, and you can choose whatever model you want behind the back end to do whatever task you're doing it, and you can switch that model in and off if you know what you're doing. Like if you're generating scripts, or if you're generating pictures and stuff like that, and you want to switch from Nano Banana to C Dance or whatever. It's easy to do when you're just doing something locally, but if you're offering that as a service and you're offering to hundreds and thousands of people, then it's gonna have to have like a more stable infrastructure, and that's gonna take a little bit more time to build. So yeah, and for the AI native people, they know what they want, they know what they need, so it's natural for them to build their own app solutions. But for the people who are not AI native but they use AI, they might see a new app, just like Cal, for example, and they might, because you can just take a photo with Gemini and say, yo, how many calories is this? And Gemini will tell you and it will track it. But Cal AI went ahead and was like, okay, let's build an app around this. Take a picture, I'll tell you how many calories. It's essentially the same function, Mine, there's a few tweaks here and there, but not a huge leap from from what I just described, doing it on Gemini or doing it on Cal AI. So what's the actual use? What's the actual purpose or the actual offer? The actual benefit of using Cal AI? It's the packaging. You get it all connected in there. Stores your data. Whereas in Gemini, you have to like search for that conversation that you were having. It's like, yo, let's keep tracking my macros. Let's keep tracking my calories in and outs, so I can, go to the gym and stuff. And then you start a new conversation, and maybe Gemini already forgot. So that's the real usage. Because if you do it on Gemini, you have to be a lot more manual on the tracking of whatever thing you're trying to express. But if you package it and it's like, okay, here's your goal. You are 30 days away. You're 45 days away from, achieving your goal. Keep at it, reduce your calories. Don't eat this, eat that. So it's a lot more customizable. So I think wrappers are just that. I wonder how long is it going to take? How long is it going to last? Is this going to be like NFTs and then all of a sudden they're gone? I'm talking about applications, the wrappers. Or is it going to be like stable solution, and we just have millions and millions of apps that are more and more niche to like targeted to a very specific type of people and type of solution? I'm really curious about the future of AI on this, and I want to talk to more people about it. So maybe I kind of want to move my channel towards those type of conversations, like, hey, how is AI impacting your work, impacting your life, even impacting your dating life? I found that, for example, on Tinder when I'm here, one of the things that I found is, so I don't use it a lot, but I used it a little bit when I'm traveling recently, and I found there's a lot of freelancers, to give it a name, right? And it's very easy to tell when somebody's a freelancer on Tinder. You just need to be, I don't know, pattern aware, pattern recognition and stuff like that. You can see the type of pictures, the type of messages and stuff like that. That, the fact that they want to meet right away, the fact that they just say like send hearts and they send emojis and stuff, and then they were like, oh, I'm in this location. The fact that they always have a picture of the city that they're promoting, sort of like, oh yeah, look, this is Shanghai. I'm in Shanghai. Who else has like just like a landscape picture of the city? A lot of them have pictures where they don't clearly show their face. But the easiest tell is if you ask them for their WeChat. They'll give you their WeChat right away. And then if you ask them for a video call, they will always deny, or they will unmatch you or delete you immediately. It always happens. So that's how I found out about it. And now there's an idea. I have something that could exist. I'm not going to build it, but what if you could filter out those people and build a tool that does it for you? Moves people from the platform to another platform, like Tinder to WeChat or Tinder to WhatsApp, whatever, and then ask people for facial confirmation. Because apparently you can like very easily skip facial confirmation on Tinder. Because these people are not who they say they are. These people are not who is on the pictures. And not only that, they're freelancing, which, whatever. But I don't want that. So if you're not after that, how can you filter out without spending a ton of time? Honestly, I don't have to spend that much time doing it, because I can tell right away when somebody's a freelancer. But there could be a tool that just does it for you automatically if you put those patterns that I was talking about, and then automatically deletes them. I don't know how you would integrate something like that into the app of Tinder. I don't think it's possible at all. If it was like a manual thing with like OpenClaw inside of your computer, maybe it could be done. But inside of the phone app, I think it's not possible at this stage on time, because I don't see OpenClaw going about this. Anyway, those are like rambling thoughts of my travel chronics. Have a great day and safe travels. And if you're remote working as well, tell me what's your biggest challenge at the moment. Mario out.